sipping that potion, going pretty hard. It's hard not to notice.
It's how I'm rolling. If the cops show, little mama gotta hold this.
Ooh, I get chills. Yeah, shout out to Samuel Kim Music, man. So this YouTuber actually composed this. He composed it of like, you know, existing music and fire, dude. Fire. All right, guys. Yeah, that was that music. Welcome back to my channel. Usually I do, you know, comedy stuff, funny stuff. Today we're doing a Star Wars themed episode, guys. I'm pulling questions from Reddit, pulling questions from Facebook. You know, I had some people send questions in, so yeah, and I'm gonna review one of the trailers, one of my favorite trailers to date so far for episode 9. So I'm kind of pumped. And I'll mention his name later, but one of the Redditors, bro, he was like, yeah, don't forget to mention you're excited. I was like, I hella died, bro. Because, you know, YouTubers be doing that. Like, I'm so excited, bro. Like, you know. All right, so if I get to the questions, guys, we're going to review one of the latest Rise of Skywalker trailers called Duel. It was a TV spot. Bro, this shit was mad intense for me. The beginning, anyways. So, without further ado, guys, let's watch this trailer together, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it.
This will be the final word.
The final word of
In the
Skywalker.
story of Skywalker.
So it looks amazing already in the trailers. Just the visual. You know JJ's hella good with the visual. See? There you go.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Get tickets now.
All right, so we just watched the TV spot called Duel for the Rise of Skywalker. My thoughts? Well, first of all, when it opens up with Rey and Kylo, so I don't know if you guys know, if you don't want to know any spoilers, or you just want to go into Episode 9 clean, we will leave a timestamp to skip this. So Kylo and Rey are actually standing on parts of the Death Star 2. So it's in an ocean. Some people have speculated that it's Endor or one of the moons of Endor, and I'm gonna assume that's what it is. The reason this scene is so like good is because look, bro, like there's just like it's the Duel of the Fates, bro. The music, that's like the best part of the prequels for me is the music. John Williams, his brother, did come out and say that John was gonna use music from all 8 of the previous films in this movie. He was going to incorporate it into the movie, so I'm super excited about that. Throughout the trailer, so we see them in Pasaana, the desert planet. Obviously they're being chased down by the First Order, and Rey shoots one of them out of the sky. You see shots of the Millennium Falcon. You see shots of the X-Wings. One of my favorite shots comes right here, though. You see Rey on Ahch-To again, and she's staring at Kylo's burnt TIE fighter, so, or, you know, Kylo's ship. So, you know, my thoughts, one of the best TV spots they've had so far, and I actually think this should have been one of the trailers. This actually should have been in one of the trailers. This would have made, like, the hype for this movie so crazy. Because I don't know, like, you saw the, like, the actual, like, official trailer, right? You saw it?
The first 2.
So, like, it was cool, but, like, you just, like, okay. Like, this is supposed to be the trailer for, like, the last, you know, they've been marketing this as, like, the last Skywalker, you know, the end of the Skywalkers, like, you know what I mean? So, like, it just didn't. This part right here, Kylo's walking towards something, it looks like a huge cube floating. Something that really concerns me is I'm, like, I go on Reddit, like, every day, and obviously I see leaks, I see spoilers. I didn't look, so for episode 8, I didn't look at any spoilers. I didn't look at any like leaks or anything because I wanted to go into episode 8 clean. But as you guys will find out, I'm not really a fan of episode 8. I didn't really like the movie. So going into this movie, I was like, oh, okay. You know, I read, I'm stupid. I read some of the leaks, bro. I read some of the spoilers, and a lot of people didn't believe that they were real. A lot of people said, hey, these leaks aren't real, they can't be, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at this TV spot in particular, Rey being on Ahch-To, that was in one of the leaks. Kylo Ren walking towards one of the cube, like that cube in the sky, that was in one of the leaks. Kylo Ren aiming his lightsaber at somebody in the distance. That was in one of the leaks. I mean, that's not really a big leak, but that was in one of like, you know, Rey right here. And they specifically said the throne had spikes coming out of it. Look at this right here. The throne has spikes out of it. So maybe some elements of those leaks were real. So, I mean, we'll see what it is. The movie comes out in a couple weeks. So, you know, I don't know. I'm personally, me, I am excited to see it. It's just like, you know, like, it sucks. I feel bad for JJ, bro, because like, not only does he have to make a good Star Wars movie, he has to wrap up a 9-movie saga, bro. I just feel hella bad. There's no way you can do that, like, and make everybody happy. Like, that must just suck knowing that, bro. Like, it's like, hey, no matter what I do, like, no one, like, there's gonna be people who hate this. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the TV spot. We're gonna go into the questions, guys. So I got some questions sent to me from Reddit and Facebook. I'm gonna pull the Facebook questions up right now, actually. So this is like my first time doing this type of video. So, you know, people don't know me for this, really. They know I like Star Wars, but I don't usually make Star Wars themed videos. So, you know, I got people who send me questions, but like not the amount I wanted. But nevertheless, my first question comes from Amber, and we will, like I said, guys, we will feature your questions on the screen as they appear. So her first question is, will the Ewoks be brought back? Good question, Amber, and I'm gonna let all you guys know, again, if you don't want to be spoiled for the movie, we will leave timestamps. All right, because I want to be respectful for people who just want to go into this movie clean. So there was an image, one of the guys who played the Ewoks back in Return of the Jedi, and he was looking at his costume for the movie, and it was an older Wicket. So yes, I do believe we will at least see one or two or maybe a group of Ewoks, because like you guys have been seeing in the trailer, Rey, Finn, Poe, and whoever else they are with go back to the remains of the Death Star, and they're retrieving something, guys. So I think that'd be cool. You know how, like, I don't know if you know this or not, but like, you know, people would like shit on the Ewoks, like, oh, how, like, and I get it too. They'd be like, how are they defeating stormtroopers with rocks and like slingshots? Which is, bro, if you think about it, like, how? Like, yeah, dude, like, whoever, when they were writing the movie, right, it was like, hey, you have a helmet on, right? But when this Ewok throws a rock at you, you're gonna die. Like, that's just so weird to me. Like, who wrote that? You know what I mean? I don't know if... I'm pretty sure George wrote that. George Lucas wrote that. But, like, no one said, hey, George, like, that's stupid, bro. Like, they shouldn't be able to just die from rocks. So the Ewoks usually were, like, those characters that were mentioned with, like, Jar Jar Binks, the Ewoks, right? So that'd be cool if, like, JJ brought back some Ewoks and, like, kind of redeemed them, you know? Or, which I think this might happen, when Rey and them show up to, you know, find the remains of the Death Star, you know, maybe, like, there's an Ewok or two who, like, lead her to it, you know? That'd be kind of cool, like, they lead her and the group to the remains, so I think that'd be pretty cool. You actually sent me a couple, and I'm actually going to reply to all of them, because thank you for going out of your way and, you know, commenting. What 2 characters appear in every Star Wars movie? So... it is R2-D2 and C-3PO, but I don't think they appear in Solo. So, I don't know, like, how to count that question. I mean, how that question would be, like, properly answered, because it is R2-D2 and C-3PO, but I don't know, because I don't think they're in Solo. If they're in Solo, comment in the section below, in the comment section, tell me, because I don't think they're in Solo, so... but it is those 2, which, by the way, I don't know, fun fact, guys, George Lucas always said that, like, it'd be cool if, like, the story of Star Wars was, like, R2-D2 telling that story to people, or C-3PO and them telling that story to, like, a group of people. That'd be cool. Like, that'd be so fire if... I'm not saying that they would do this, but what if Episode 9 ended that way? They're just stuck on some random planet, random people, and, like, they're, like, retelling the story of Star Wars, but, like, that'd be so fire, dude. And rest in peace, too. The actor who played R2-D2, I'm sorry, I'm off the top, I'm not remembering your name, but rest in peace, my man. Anthony Daniels, who actually plays C-3PO, I guess he said he had a larger role in this movie, and that's actually pretty cool that, like, JJ went out of his way to give C-3PO a larger role, because in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, he didn't really have that big of a role, so... I thought that was pretty cool. So Amber's next question is, will the Mandalorian show his face and stay to pursue a relationship and raise Baby Yoda? So guys, I think what Amber is saying is, if you guys haven't, so Disney Plus has a new show. It's an original. It's called The Mandalorian. It takes place 5 years after the events of episode 6. Yeah, so in episode 4, or sorry, chapter 4, you know, they see these villagers, and one of the villagers actually, you know, she likes him, and, you know, she's kind of like hinting like, hey, you know, let me take your mask off, and like, you know, why don't you stay? And like, you know, because they don't know his name yet, but the character Baby Yoda, which by the way, genius move on Disney's part. So you see Baby Yoda playing with all these like kids, and like he's happy, you know, and she's like, hey, why don't you stay? So actually, Amber, what I think's gonna happen, he's a Mandalorian, dude. Like, straight up, you know what I mean? He's just a badass. He's just a total badass. I don't think he's gonna want to be ever have a relationship. I don't think he's ever just gonna settle down. And especially with Baby Yoda, he can't really settle down, as if, you know, if you finish the episode, you know, you'll know why. You know, they constantly have to be on the move. So, yeah, I mean, I really hope, like, if maybe towards the end of this series, I could see that happening. Like, hey, you know, let me just have a family now, you know? This isn't worth it for me. But Mandalorians are like, they're badass, dude. So, yeah, thanks for the question, Amber. So her last question is Rey Luke's daughter? So I don't think so anymore. So going into episode 8, I totally thought that's the route they were gonna go. I was like, yeah, Rey's Luke's daughter. That makes the most sense to me. Now after episode 8, they made her a nobody, which she's not a nobody. Okay, guys, that's not, you know what I mean? Even watching episode 8, I was like, yeah, the way Kylo says it, this is actually what I wanted to get to. So the way Kylo says it to her, it sounded like a lie, bro, right? Like, when you see that scene, it just seems like Kylo is just trying to, like, you're nothing, you come from nothing, join me. Because he probably felt like, if I tell you that, you'll want to join me because you'll feel like you're nothing. What I think is going to happen, and this is based just off what I've wanted since The Force Awakens came out, I've even showed my family constant videos of people's theories on how she could be related to Obi-Wan or the Emperor, but I really want her to be related to the Emperor or something. He created her. He either created her or she's like directly related to him. Actually, that's what I want in this episode 9. So that would be like super cool if like Anakin's offspring versus the Emperor's offspring, and like Anakin's offspring is dark but the Emperor's offspring is light, and like it's like they're trying to like reverse the roles, and like the reason I also think that's the route they may go is because obviously the Emperor's in this movie. Like, Palpatine's returning. His laughter was in the first trailer. Every TV spot he's talking, he's like, the rise of Skywalker. I mean, he didn't really say that, but bro, I would love to be Ian McDermott, dude. Just like walking around like all day talking like that. Dude, I would hella set up my my answering machine like that. Call me back at a later time. You seen Jay, have you seen a Robot Chicken? Remember what he's like, go for Papa Palpatine. That shit's funny, dude. So Amber, thank you for your questions. I don't know if this is actually a question, but my boy Mark, he says, are you gonna dress like Leia? Bro, I don't have the time, you know what I mean? I'd have to go and I'd have to like probably get it from Amazon, and we didn't have enough time. But I actually replied to Mark. I actually said I wanted to dress up as Slave Leia from episode 6 when Jabba the Hutt had her chained up. My boy Jabba was ready, dude. That was so weird because like from episode 4 and 5, you noticed that like she was like a general and she was leading the army, and like they showed her in like a respectable light. And then the second episode 6 hits, he's like, you know what? And George, I wish I could do a George impression. Yeah, we're just gonna put her in a bikini, have it chained up. You know what I mean? Like, can you just imagine? Dude, that'd be hella funny, dude. I guess he told her like, damn it, I'm not gonna quote it if I don't remember the quote, dude. But there was a quote about like underwear in space, and I thought it was hella funny, dude. So yeah, thank you, Mark. Next time I might dress up as something. I actually have a Kylo Ren mask I'm wearing here, so probably do the old Kylo Ren. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go to my Reddit questions. People from Reddit submitted their questions to me. I asked in the subreddit Star Wars speculation, asked in the subreddit, you know, just Star Wars, and yeah, I got some few questions, so let's get into it. So this question comes from Reddit user Spreeza. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Spreeza. Thank you for sending me a question. So their question is, how do you think Disney should handle the cinematic aspect of Star Wars after The Rise of Skywalker? So, fire question. And it's kind of like, it's hard to answer that because, like, I think it all depends on if The Rise of Skywalker does good. Because if this movie doesn't do good, or it has like the same effect that The Last Jedi had, which, you know, let's say the movie's really divisive, like it divides the fan base again. I think, let's say the movie's really good. Let's say this movie blows us out the water and we're just like, hey, you know, we want more of this and this. So I actually think the cinematic universe going forward, it relies on the success of this movie. Because let's say, I'm gonna say this, if it does really good and fans really love this movie and we, you know, there's not a lot of hate for it, I could see Star Wars, well, especially for these characters, I could see Disney coming back to these group of characters probably like 10 15 years down the line. Give it like a legit 15 years, and then, like, you know, let Daisy Ridley get older, let Adam Driver get older, bring these characters back, you know. I don't know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they keep marketing this as the final of the Skywalker saga, but it's not, bro. No matter what they tell you guys, it's not the end, dude. Like, Disney is not about throwing away free money. You know what I mean? Like, that's free money. Let's say the future Star Wars shows and movies don't do good, and you wait 15 years. Hey, how do we get people interested in Star Wars again? Oh, let's make another movie with Rey and them. What have Rey and Kylo and them been doing after all this time? So, you know what I mean? Let's say the movie does really bad, or it's not as good as the original trilogy, or just anything. Like, what I think might happen is, I think Disney might go the Old Republic way, which I was kind of bummed out, man, when I heard reports that the directors of Game of Thrones were rumored to be doing the Knights of the Old Republic. I was actually kind of excited because it's one of my favorite games, Star Wars ever. I grew up playing that game on the PC. You know, obviously I read some of the books, the comics. I have some comics on my wall about it. So, you know, one of my favorite characters in Star Wars is Darth Revan. So, I mean, and Darth Nihilus and Darth Malgus. So that's a really good question, man. It's actually super hard to answer if we're just gonna be honest with each other, because there's a lot of things. I think the TV shows is perfect right now. They shouldn't change it up. So I know we're getting the Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming up in the next year or two. We're gonna get Mandalorian season 2. Keep doing that, because that stuff is gonna be the future of Star Wars right there. Is those TV shows right there. When it comes to the movies, it's just one of those things. It's all gonna depend on the Rise of Skywalker's success. So thank you for your question, Spreeza. All right, so my next question comes from like I said, I asked Star Wars Speculation subreddit. I said, hey guys, send me in some questions. They did, and thank you for that, guys. And like I said, right here, Red 5 Twitch TV, include how excited you were. Yeah, buddy, I'm fucking excited, dude. I'm hella excited. You know, I just think it's funny because that Redditor is right, dude. Like, people are just like, oh, I'm just so, and it's like, you know, like, we are, but like there should be a different way you express it on YouTube, dude. So the first question comes from Alex Solo Skywalker, and their question is, basically they're telling me, you know, just talk about Palpatine's return. Would be something about Palpatine's return would be cool. Maybe reasons as to why he's hiding or his reasoning for returning. Good luck with their channel. I will make sure to check it out. Hey, thank you, by the way. That question is a good question, or just what you wrote is good. I'm actually kind of like divided on Palpatine's return, because obviously he died in episode 6. Anakin fulfilled the prophecy of the Chosen One, threw the Emperor and boom, you know, the Death Star explodes. So JJ bringing him back seems like a really desperate move to me. Well, obviously because for some strange reason, Disney let 2 directors do the first and second movie. They let them write different scripts. They didn't have to follow each other's movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, JJ set all this up in The Force Awakens, and Ryan was just like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. So, yeah, I mean, I think JJ literally said that it was planned. Like, they always plan to bring Palpatine back. But Colin Trevorrow, who he was supposed to be directing episode 9, he said that when he was in the middle of writing for episode 9, Palpatine wasn't going to be in the movie. So obviously Palpatine was a JJ thing. His reason for returning, I could see them saying, and I actually said this on Reddit the other day, I could actually, so you know in episode 8 when Luke did the force projection all the way from Octu to Crate, and like, you know, him and Kylo are fighting, but he's not really there. And I think what they could do, which it could just be a simple explanation for like the casual fans, because they've already seen episode 8, so the casual fans don't have to be like, oh wow, now I have to read a comic book, now I have to watch Rebels. You know, what they could say was that Palpatine was force projecting himself on the Death Star in episode 6, and he was super, like, obviously he's like one of the most powerfulest force users ever of all time. So maybe he was able to manifest himself physically without actually having to be there. That'd be like an easy way to like, just like, so the fans wouldn't have, you don't have to spend the whole episode 9 and explaining that. You don't have to like do weird exposition and like, can you imagine the Emperor? I survived the fall by force projection like Luke did in episode 8. You know, that thing you saw? Like, you know, you don't have to do that. Another quick one, he could just be like, hey, look, you know, I have access to like the world between worlds. I'm able to see into the future. I was able to predict my death. Anything like that. It just sucks because like if they have Rey to defeat the Emperor, like even if the movie's good, bro, like the movie could be hella good, but if Rey defeats the Emperor, I'm just gonna be okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think she needs to be the one that defeats the Emperor. Like if Mace Windu couldn't do it, if Yoda couldn't do it, if Luke and Anakin can't defeat him, Rey's not. Oh my god, dude, Rey better not defeat the Emperor, dude. You know what I mean? Like, no, hell no. What I could see them doing, because obviously Disney and Marvel and Lucasfilm are all under Disney. You guys saw the end of Endgame. What happens in Endgame? Captain America, Thanos. Everybody comes out to face Thanos. I think what might happen in this movie is Rey's getting her ass whooped by the Emperor, and all the Force ghosts that matter to her appear. You guys saw Yoda appear in episode 8. He made the lightning come down. So now in canon, Force ghosts are able to do something. So I could see them having Rey getting her ass whooped, and then Anakin, Luke. I don't know if Leia's dead at that time. Leia, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon all appear as Force ghosts and help Rey with the final fight. It'd almost be like Harry Potter. Remember when like all his family came out of the wand? Yeah, so I could see that happening. Which would technically be like she didn't defeat him. She had the help of previous Jedi. Like that'd be cool too. I'd accept that. But if she one-on-one beats the Emperor, sorry, dude. You guys failed at me. It's a fail, dude. You know what I mean? And speaking of Palpatine, because JJ said that, you know, how do you make episode 9? How do you end the Skywalker saga without having its biggest villain? How do you make the Skywalker saga or end it without Anakin, bro? Anakin has to be in this movie. If Anakin is not in this movie, it's just a fail, bro. Like, I don't know. I know that like Lucasfilm and them have people reading these subreddits all day. So you guys know that like the fans want Anakin back, bro. Like the fans want Hayden Christensen back. So if, you know, make your fans happy, bro. Like literally, it's free money. Put Anakin in the fucking movie, dude. That's simple. You know what I mean? So anyways, Alex, thank you for your question. All right, the next question comes from Tempest, which I'm hoping I'm saying that right. They want me to ponder on the location of Luke's green lightsaber. They want me to cite my sources and then hit us with speculation based on those clues. Follow up if you think it will appear in The Rise of Skywalker in some respect. So, thank you for your question. So I believe in the novelization of The Last Jedi, it doesn't say specifically his green lightsaber, but if the caretakers on Ahch-To, they were going through Luke's hut, and they did pick up his lightsaber. It doesn't say the green one, but I'm assuming it is the green one. And you know, I'm assuming right now, if we're in episode 9 right now, the green lightsaber is on Ahch-To. And if it does appear in The Rise of Skywalker, I could definitely see Rey going back to Ahch-To, like you saw her in the trailer. Rey going back there, and either she grabs it or Luke gives it to her. That'd be actually hella cool. Not only that, what I wish would happen is like he gives it to Rey and she gives it to Kylo. So, you know, Kylo ditches his red lightsaber and holds the green one. That'd be cool too. So yeah, I mean, I think it was a huge missed opportunity in episode 8 when Kylo and Luke are fighting and Luke doesn't use his green one. And I get it. People were like, oh, but that's the last thing that Kylo saw, and oh, but I think it would have made the scene more impactful if like Luke pulls out his lightsaber and bzzz, the green one comes out instead of the blue one. You know, because as a moviegoer, we had just seen the blue lightsaber get blown apart, or like, you know, when Kylo and Rey were like fighting for it, just like, so we just seen it get broken. So it didn't make sense when he pulled out the blue one. That was your first clue that he wasn't really there, you know, based on that alone. So thank you for your question, Bump John. Hopefully, again, guys, if I'm saying your name wrong, please comment below. You know what I mean? Here. All right, Bump John, he said, good luck, bro. I've considered it since I love talking about Star Wars, but the market is extremely saturated. Unfortunately, yes, the market is saturated with Star Wars content now. Anybody with a camera, mic can just pick this up and do what I'm doing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong about that. If you love Star Wars, or if you have a passion for anything, you guys will notice on my other videos, you know, I love doing comedy. I love doing music. I love just reviewing stuff. I just love being myself. So I get what you're saying. I'm not really here to like oversaturate the market. I'm just, if you guys like this video, or this video seems to get people's attention, I'll do more of them. I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm a really big champion of, I like to campaign for people like, hey, do what you love doing. Because at the end of the day, life's too short to be wondering what you should have done or what you could have done. So yeah, thank you for that. So the Bendu 117, his question is, did you read the Dr. Aphra comic line? I've extremely enjoyed it. I think it's truly some good Star Wars content done quite differently to the other Star Wars comics. That being said, do you have any hopes for her to appear in some sort of live action content, whether it be a cameo or role, and when do you think something like that could take place and tie into the current universe of story? All right, thank you, Bendu117. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I know the character of Dr. Aphra. Obviously, like, I've seen the videos about her, and I've never actually read the comic line, but I know it's a really popular comic line. And that makes me really happy that you enjoyed it as much as you do, because maybe I should start looking into her, because I've heard some really good things about this character. My hope is, like, yeah, like, characters like this, like, if they become popular when they didn't, I don't think, like, when, like, Lucasfilm made characters like this, it was like, maybe like, hey, do you think this would be popular? Like, yeah, just put her in there. So that being said, I do actually have hopes for characters like this to be in the movies, because it's, first of all, it's different from the ones we have now. It gives the people who read the comics and the books, that's a treat, bro. Can you imagine, like, for you, for instance, like, you know, you're into something, and like, and then the creators give like the hardcore fans like a bone, you know? Because obviously creators, the makers of these movies have to, like, we have the general audience, then we have our hardcore audience. Obviously, they have to please the general audience a little more, because those are the people that are like going to like pay and giving you the billions of dollars that you make on this movie. I think it'd be actually cool if she was in a Disney Plus show. That'd be actually really cool. Either, I think she could be in the Cassian show. They could even make her own show. That'd be a good way to like introduce her, because if it does good on the Disney Plus show, they're like, hey, let's give her a movie. Hey, let's give her a game. Hey, let's do this. So I think Disney Plus would be the perfect place for her to start off on. And I'm pretty sure something like this, if marketed right, could go really well. I'd actually rather see her get her own show than the Cassian show, if we're going to be honest. You remember the character from Rogue One? Jen's, like, it wasn't her boyfriend, but the guy at the end with her. He's getting his own show, and I'm like, bro, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to the actor. The actor did amazing. It's just like, out of every character that you could have given a show to, that's who you're giving a show to. Like I said, no disrespect, dude. Like, even to the actor, the people at Lucasfilm, no disrespect to you guys, because I know it takes a lot of energy and a lot of hard work to make this stuff. But bro, somebody sat in a room and was like, hey, we're gonna make a Cassian TV show. Like, dude, no, dude. Like, I can tell you right now, no. Like, you could have made, bro, and I'll tell you right now, I'd rather see a Rogue Squadron TV show. Give us an X-Wing TIE Fighter / like ship show. Wouldn't that be cool if you saw like a bunch of X-Wing battles happening and it's like the dog fights in the sky? I'd rather see a Vader TV show of him hunting down Jedi after Order 66. Hell, dude, even give us like, you know, I don't think they're gonna make a sequel to Solo, but give us a Disney Plus show with those same characters and Lando in them. Just like the underworld and like the smuggling and all the crime, and even Darth Maul, bro. When Darth Maul was in Solo, you guys could easily do that too. So I don't know. It's just funny. It's just like what DC does. Hey, I know the fans want Man of Steel 2, but let's give them Birds of Prey. Like, oh my god, dude. Anyways, thank you for your question. Yeah, I'm gonna look her up more. I'm probably gonna go get some of the comics from Action City Comics and look into it. So thank you for your question. All right, guys. So that's the end of tonight's episode. If you like this Star Wars content that I did, please let me know in the comments. Please share the video. Thank you for all the people who sent in questions. And yeah, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, the bell button, all that good stuff, guys. And until next time, may the Force be with you.
I don't know how to do no oh shit. Shorty wetter than the ocean, oh shit. Got me sipping that potion, going